Today, let's hand knit a blanket with our big velvet yarn. I love this yarn because it's slightly weighted and extra cozy. So first we're going to gather our supplies. You'll need thread, scissors, needle, and of course your yarn. I'm using 9 skeins. So you're going to start with a slip knot about 3 inches long. Form a foundation chain with 18 loops. Make each loop by pulling your working yarn through the loop previous and make the loops about 2.5 inches wide. Then we'll begin our first row by pulling your working yarn through the loops of the foundation chain. Make sure not to twist these loops while you pull them through. As you begin row 2, leave the last loop from row 1 hanging out. Here, I'll show you what I mean. When you get to the end of the row, finish it by pulling the working yarn through, and then as you begin the next row, leave that last loop hanging out. You will reconnect it when you come back the other way. This will form a sort of border around your blanket. I'll show you again so you can see what I mean. Finish the row you are working on, and then leave that loop out while you move back across, forming your next row. Continue working the same way for the remainder of your blanket. If you need, you can add more skeins along the way. I have a video showing you how to connect our type of yarn. I'll be making 30 rows with 9 skeins of yarn, but change this with the amount of yarn you have. For your final row, it's called a binding off row. You're going to lay your loop on top of the loop next to it, and then pull your working yarn through both of those loops. Continue this all the way across your blanket, forming a final loop at the end, and then trimming off the tail of your working yarn and pulling that piece through the final loop. Then flip your blanket over, tuck the tail into the back loop, and then you're going to fold the outside of the yarn down, cutting out about 1.5 inches of the fluff. Then you're going to fold the outside of the yarn in on itself, tuck it under another loop, and then use your needle and thread to secure it to the back of the blanket while closing up the end of the yarn. Then flip your blanket over and do the same thing with the beginning tail of your blanket. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Please comment and share if you want to see more videos like this.